Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening, good afternoon from Kathmandu. I hope this message finds you well. I'm just going to give it a couple of, maybe a minute to let this tell you that I am live. Today I was prompted to do this live, mostly because I feel like from having conversations, there's a sort of misunderstanding about what sales is, what marketing is. And a lot of people get put off by the idea of marketing. Thank you for the love. Show me, tell me, comment and tell me who's watching. Yeah. So based on conversations I have with people, seeing what people post, there's a sort of misunderstanding of what marketing and sales are actually. And a lot of the time, what we see on the outside, we see the advertising, we see the promotion, we see the sales. Okay, the sale, literally like the sales, the sales part. And these are just elements. These are the what we see on the outside of the marketing. But what I'm here to share with you today is, hi Nidhi, hello, and lovely to have you here. The way I see marketing is really as a tool of service. And I know a lot of you in this group are coming from a service a service professional. And I know after talking with a lot of you, it is your passion to serve. It is your passion to heal. It is your passion to help others, thanks to the skills and the experiences and expertise that you have to guide others. So as a definition, marketing is actually a process of bringing the right services or products to the right people at the right time and in the right place. Okay, and how we deliver that is through the tools and tactics and the strategy that it follows. But ultimately, what I'm telling you here is that what we see on the outside, the websites, the funnels, the Facebook pages, the this, the that, this is like the tip of the iceberg. And what we see happening most of the time, oftentimes, we don't really like it. And this is what I was sharing in my in the Embody Marketing with Ease group program yesterday. Like how, and I actually shared this in my profile. Like, for example, I really don't like when marketers are sending cold messages into people's inboxes without there being any sort of interaction or relationship, right? So that's a cold DM. That already makes me say, like, who the hell are you? And when I see that happening, I get put off. And the problem is that I know that that is not my way. I know that that is not the way of doing it, because I am highly focused on relationship building and I really believe in it. Disclaimer, if I have ever sent you a cold message in the past, I do apologize. But it's really not my style. It's not my style. And the more you practice and the more you try out things, you will know what's right for you. But you're definitely never going to hear me send 10, 20 cold messages out there hoping someone bites. It's like throwing the spaghetti on the wall and hoping one of them is going to stick to tell you it's time up. It doesn't work like that. So how can we move away from being that salesy pushy to really embodying marketing as a practice and as a practice of service? So how can we use the tools to move away from that sales? We're going to be selling, but we want to move away from that idea of what we think sales looks like, and move into a practice of service, using the tools to actually serve, to educate, to inspire, which in turn actually fosters sales and impact. Okay, so what I'm saying is that sales and clients and money are a byproduct of the way we show up. Okay, so if we're going to go on the hardcore selling, if that's your style, go for it. If we want to do it more subtly, but still impactfully and effectively, at the end of the day, we need sales, we need clients. We need clients to actually work. We need clients to make that impact we so desire to have. And we need clients to actually call our business a business. Without clients, there is no business. So today I'm going to share 3 keys And I know a lot of you have been hearing about these, but it's always good as a reminder. And for those of you who are new in here, I would like to bring this to you if you're hearing this the first time. So, number one, why are you here? And what's your position? Okay, so what are you bringing into the marketplace? What are you bringing to your audience? And why are you here? So we need to start in all of your professions, in all of the industries. There are many people like you, right? So how are you going to stand out, especially in the online space, or especially in your town or wherever? I'm assuming that you're doing work online, or at least you're promoting online. How are you going to stand out in the chaos? You're not only competing, by the way. I don't like, for me, there's no competition. The more we collaborate, the more we grow together. But how can you stand out in that space? What is it that is going to make people want to work with you and not someone else? So these are some questions I want to ask you, and maybe you want to write them down and reflect on them, right? So this would really help you figure out how you're coming up in the marketplace, and what is that position that you're taking. So first question is, what are you bringing to the marketplace? What are you bringing to your audience? Why is that important? Okay, so these are two very important questions. Now, what do you as a professional in your space, as an expert in your space, what do you stand for? What is it that you stand for? You've heard me say it. I stand for relationship building. I stand for doing things ethically and consciously. What is it that you stand for? Now, that's all well and good. And we tend to focus a lot on what we stand for. But what's really going to make me stand out from the others is what I stand against. What is it that makes you mad? What is it that flusters you in your industry or in the market space, in the place that you're operating in the place that you're communicating in? What is it that you're ready to fight against and stand your ground? Okay, and most of the time, so if you're ready to stand against something, then what is your solution for it? Okay, so as I said before, I stand against this cold messaging bullshit, if you excuse my French. But it is really not a good strategy. It's tiring, it's exhausting. You're setting yourself up for rejection. And even if you do get those numbers, for example, the messages that I've been receiving with the same script, it's incredible, have all been to invite into their Facebook group. Now they may get numbers in, but what is the quality of those people? Most of the time, the people who come into my group are actually invited, unless they were recommended or they found me by chance. But a lot of the time, you're actually invited because we've connected in some way or another, and you checked it out, and you were invited into my group. So going back, what do you stand against? What is it that is really going to make you stand out of the crowd? And once you start talking about it, this is when people will start taking you seriously. Okay. Here, what's happening and what will happen with your message is that you will begin to polarize your audience. There are going to be people who like it, and there are going to be people who don't like it, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, you want to have the people who like it say, yes, I agree with you. Okay, and once we get them on that, once we identify that we have shared interests, shared values, a shared understanding of how things should be or could be or whatever, this is when they're going to start listening to you, and this is when they're going to start taking you seriously. And I just want you to see how this can actually really impact your messaging to make it more clear and direct. Okay, we want to be practical and functional in our message, and less fluffy and mystical. And I mean, the mystical, the fluffiness is nice, but really and truly what people need is practicality. So by standing ground and saying what you're against actually helps that happen. Okay. And another question I would like to ask you is, how do you want people to view you? Do you want to be that person who only shows up when they need to make the sale? Think of that friend who only calls you when they need something. Or are you going to be someone who consistently shows up? whether you're asking for the sale at that point or not. And when you do consistently show up, it works wonders. Guys, believe me, I have taken a backseat for a couple of weeks. It made a huge difference. Okay, I've had to take a backseat because of something in my personal life. With my local business actually was really running me dry, and I just couldn't show up for you guys. That broke my consistency, that broke my momentum, and that had a huge impact in my business, in fact. How do you want people to view you? Are you going to be that person who only shows up when you have the sale? Or are you going to be someone who's consistently showing up for them? Because how we are perceived on the online space is how we're going to be perceived in real life. Okay? No one is perfect. No one is perfect. We're all human beings. Sometimes we need to take a break. Sometimes we need to take a step back. And sometimes that step back, for me, was actually such a huge momentum of growth. I feel like something else is coming out of me now more than before. So that I just want to put that in there. I want you to understand that I understand the human element of this as well, because I am human too. Okay, so number one, why are you here and what's your position in the market? Make that clear. Now, second, we need to communicate this, right? So the second part is your message, the importance of your message being relatable to your audience. Okay, now we speak about identifying your ideal clients and perhaps picturing your avatar. Okay, we must also understand who we want to attract. That is super important. It's not only identifying an ideal client and then restructuring everything for that ideal client. What happens is, if we ignore our part, we will not be passionate about serving that client. Things will change. We change, we grow, we progress on a personal level and on a professional level. Sometimes our ideal client will also change according to our growth, according to our journey. So you want to be crafting relatable messages, relatable content that educates, inspires, and adds value, okay, with a clear call to action. Now, let me just let you sit with that for a second as I sip on some water. Okay, so let's talk about educating and adding value. How does your content today educate or add any value to your audience's life or business or well-being or whatever, relationships, whatever it is that you're talking about? How is it educating? How is it adding value to them? You see, when we educate and add value, this is when we start showing up as an expert. And by doing so, we are enhancing our credibility in the market space. So we're not just ranting about what we're against, right? We're also providing solutions for what we're against. Then we want to also inspire and influence. Now, we want to inspire and influence, not just wows and hearts and, oh my God, this is so amazing. We want to actually influence action. We want to influence the beliefs of our audience so that they get ready to taking that action, whether it's with you or with someone else. Okay, like over here, I am totally, this is the space where I educate and add value. I inspire and influence. Now, I inspire and influence you, not only to go say, oh, wow, that's amazing, or Hannah's amazing. I'm not looking for that. I'm inspiring you to take action. I'm empowering you with the tools to take action. Whether you come to work with me, whether you go to work with another coach, it doesn't matter. It's totally fine. My role here, my objective here is to inspire action, that you are moving closer to where you want to be. Okay, so ask yourself that question. How is my content educating, adding value, inspiring, or influencing? Just briefly on your call to action. Now, your call to action is basically telling your audience what you would like them to do with that information. A call to action can be, maybe it's a question you want them to answer. Okay, maybe you're looking for insight. You want them to answer that in the comments. You want them to get into your inbox, wherever it is that you're communicating with. A call to action would be an invitation to a discovery call, an invitation into your group, an invitation to download something where you capture their email. It could also be a direct, this is the program that's going to help you do the XYZ I just spoke about in your education post. Comment below or send me a message or sign up here. Whatever it is, you need to tell people what to do. If you don't tell people what to do, they are not going to take action. Okay? People will not take action unless you ask them to. Invite them to take action. It's entirely up to them. You're not forcing them, you're not pushing them into it, you are inviting them to take action. It is up to them to take it or not. So don't feel like just because you're putting your offer out there that you're being salesy or pushy. No, you're not sending them, like bombarding them with reminders like to sign up. You're inviting them in, okay? Now, in your message, I really planned this to be a 10-minute call, but it's okay. In your message, what we have, okay, so we want to educate, we want to add value, we want to inspire, and we want to influence. We really need to start understanding who we're talking to. And loving this, Hannah, taking lots of notes. I'm really happy, glad, I'm so glad. Understanding your client's journey. So where is your ideal client right now on their journey? Are they aware of their problem? Are they looking for solutions? What solutions are they looking for? Are you in that space of a solution that they're already looking for, or do you need to do some education around the solutions available out there? Okay, so this is, we need to understand that not everyone is ready to take action. Not everyone is ready to buy. Not everyone is ready to take that next leap. Okay, so we need to really understand who they are and what they're thinking, and what's the real struggle, and what is the impact of that struggle. So here are some questions. What is it that really ticks off your client? Okay, what is it that pisses them off, or what is it that makes them upset? Okay, and for that, what is your solution? What have they had enough of? What are they fed up of? They're fed up of feeling in a certain way. They're fed up of being in a situation. They're fed up of trying to sell their courses but not having any income, not getting any clients. What is it? And what's your view on that, and why? Okay, so you really want to link, you want to make that connection between you and that client. You want to make sure that they know that they are being understood, that your audience knows that you understand them and not you are expecting them to understand you. And oftentimes this is the problem, that we expect our audience to understand us. Oh, well, I've put my offer out there. Oh, well, but I post every day. Are you really helping your audience feel understood? Are they really going, wow, Nidhi really is speaking to me. That is exactly what's going on in my life right now. So you want them to say that. Now, what do you need to believe? What do they need to believe? I'm looking at my notes just to make sure I don't forget anything. What does your ideal client need to believe, need to understand before actually working with you? For example, my ideal clients need to definitely understand. There are many things that they need to understand and believe. One of them is that it is possible to attract the right clients with organic marketing methods, i.e. unpaid. Okay, so I need my client to understand that, because if they're going to come to me and only demand paid traffic and all of these things that they're not ready for, then it's not going to work, because I'm going to say, I'm sorry, you need to take a couple of steps back and understand the organic process method. Because first of all, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. That is where you're going to do the relationship building. We go into paid ads. That is a time for scaling. That is a time for growing the business. But if you haven't started making money yet, if you haven't started serving clients through the system, we need to get to that first. So what this is doing is, what I want you to see here is, through your message, how can you best pre-qualify your leads, your prospects, the people who may be interested in working with you, before actually contacting you or inquiring to work with you. Okay, so before, if your strategy is getting them on a discovery call to see how best to work together, whether it's a one-to-one coaching or whether it's a one session or a high ticket coaching program or whatever, group sessions, how best can you qualify them before getting onto that call? You want to make sure that the people you get on a call with are somewhat pre-qualified because they have resonated with you, they have watched you, they identify everything that you say in themselves, they have certain beliefs, they're ready to take that action. You don't want to be spending hours and hours and hours per month on calls with people who are not ready to work. Okay, and most important, actually not signing up someone who's not ready to do the work. As coaches, as mentors, as guides, we cannot get the results for our clients. We can guide, we can direct, we can keep them accountable. We cannot do the work for them. Okay, I always tell you guys this: I cannot get the results for you. You must trust in yourself. You must do the work. As I said at the beginning of this live, money, sales, clients are a byproduct of our efforts. They're a byproduct of showing up, of educating, of inspiring, of influencing. That is when the sales and the money and the clients come in. So using your story, your experiences, your expertise to guide your audience along that journey. Okay, remember, being like problem aware to solution oriented, looking for solutions. How do you fit in? Where do you show up in their space? Okay, are you the right person for them? Understanding where they're at on that journey and using content and storytelling to nurture them through that process. Okay, so what we're doing is we're moving them from being just an observer to a participant of our content to actually wanting to work with us. So we spoke about, let me recap because this is getting long. It was not my intention, but when I'm passionate about something, it happens. So why are you here and what's your position in the market? How can you stand out of the crowd? How are you bringing this across in your message to relate, connect, educate, inspire, and influence through your message? And a little bit of background on understanding your client's journey. And thirdly, your offer. If you want people to work with you, there must be an offer made, right? Recently, someone in the group mentioned that they need support. They need to know what to do in the run-up to an offer, like how to promote the offer, what to do in the run-up of the promoter. So what I'm going to tell you right now, some of you might like it, some of you may not, but you must be selling every single day. Whether you're putting an outright sale or not, your content is selling you, your concept, your values every single day. You are selling yourself, you are positioning yourself, you are presenting yourself to your audience every single day, every single time you show up. Every single piece of content should be selling, whether it's educational and value added, whether it's to inspire or to influence or to rant, whatever it is, you are selling. So if you have an offer, if you have a program coming up, for example, which is on a specific topic, what subtopics, what can you touch on in the running up 2 months, in the running up 1 month, in the running up 2 weeks, depends how long you're going to launch that for. What is the content that you need to talk about to get your audience, to warm up your audience, to nurture them, to get in those beliefs, to get in that understanding that they need, so when the offer is there, they say, yes, I have listened to you, I agree with what you said, this is for me. The other day, what day are we on? It was yesterday. It was yesterday during the Embody Marketing with Ease program. There were half of the group present in the live, but that's okay. Everyone has stuff going on. The people who were there actually were the ones who asked 0 questions. They're the ones who show up every week, They asked 0 questions. As soon as I put the offer, no brainer, made the payment. And then afterwards they were like, oh, Han, by the way, what time are the calls? Which days are the calls? So what happened there is that they were clear. They knew, because through my content, that there are certain beliefs that they had an understanding of the way things should be done. So the moment I presented my offer to them, it was clear. It was a no-brainer for them. They booked, they applied, and then they asked questions. Oh, by the way, what days are the calls? So that's what I want. That's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to experience. Those are kind of the results that I want you to have. So, yeah, going back to selling, you must always be selling in some way. Okay, we need to let go of the fact that sales is pushy or sleazy or yucky. We need to do it through content. We need to do it through showing up. By showing up, we are selling. We are being present. We are sharing value. We are sharing our expertise. Even if it reaches 1 person that day, if it reaches 0 people that day, it's absolutely fine, because the consistency will bring credibility. The credibility will give the audience an understanding that you are an expert, because you are. And this is when the clients will follow. So going back to your offer, we need to also remove this idea of sales and presenting the offer as a sales pitch. So we want to remove this idea, this concept of a single sales pitch. Okay, our offer is there to create impact. Our offer is there to serve. Okay, if we don't have the offer, if we don't make the sale, then it's a disservice. It's a disservice to the people that need it. It's a disservice to ourselves. So we want to be making sure that the offer is being presented, and presented in multiple ways. Get creative. Write storylines around all the different aspects of the offer, whether it's a one-to-one coaching or a group program or a masterclass or workshop, whatever that may be. What are the different elements? What are the different advantages, benefits, and objectives of this program, and why is that important? Go back to the positioning. What is your positioning? Who are you? What are you bringing? What are their issues? What are they facing? What have they had enough with, and what is your solution? Your offer is there to actually help them take the necessary steps forward in their life or in their business, in their relationships, whatever is your area of expertise, right? Your offer is there to actually make things happen for them. It's there to change their lives, to change their trajectory, to stop the stories, to start living more purposefully. Assuming you guys, a lot of you are conscious well-being entrepreneurs. This is what you do. You empower them with the tools that they will learn, not only for that single session, but for a lifetime. And this is something you must also remember. Note, pricing. Take note of that. When you are crafting your offer, remember that you are empowering people with the tools, not only for that single session, but you're empowering them for life. Okay, so please remember that one. So why is it that we're so uncomfortable with selling, right? Why are we uncomfortable with making that sale? And this is where I want to go back to your message. Let's go back to point number 2. Your message, when you let go, when you change the way you present your offer to just the offer, when you turn it into education, when you turn it into value, when you turn it into inspiring action and influencing beliefs and understanding, your marketing becomes a tool of service. So instead of viewing marketing and sales as something that you have to do, this other thing you need to do to get the work for your business, what if you make it part of your service? We spoke about that client journey, right? We spoke about perhaps there are some people who have issues that you can help them with, but they're not even recognizing that they have those issues, because they're stuck on the side effects, maybe the symptoms. your communication, your message is so valuable in that you can potentially start serving people way before they even cut that check or make that PayPal link or PayPal payment or bank transfer. Your message has the potential to create impact and to start serving way before they start actually working with you. However, you need to keep in mind that the real magic, the real impact, the real transformation happens when they commit to themselves, not to you, not to your program. They commit to themselves to taking action. You are there as their guide, their mentor, their teacher. You have the tools, the skills, the expertise, the experiences, but they need to trust in themselves. They need to commit to themselves to taking that action. And that is the magic, the transformation, the true impact that happens during the delivery of your service. So, as I just close off, the sales, the clients, the income, the money, these all happen organically as a result of you showing up, of you sharing your message, of you adding value consistently. Okay? When you do that consistently for a period of time, and please don't just stop then when your first client comes, because that happens so many times. When you do that consistently, clients will start coming to you. Instead of desperately trying to attract clients, you will be attracted. Does that make sense? Clients will be naturally attracted to you. So remember, your positioning, who do you stand, what do you stand for, who are you, what do you bring into the space, why are you different? You are different. Please don't tell me that I have nothing different to offer. That's bullshit, that's crap, and that's all disempowering narratives. Please stop that. I have it too. Your message. How well are you connecting? How well are you resonating with your audience? Are you crafting content at different stages of their journey? 3, presenting your offer. Don't be afraid to continuously present your offer. If you're not selling anything specifically right now, I know a lot of you have one-to-one coaching. I know some of you are building up a group. I know some of you have content that you can use to give for free as a lead generation, something of value, something that people can get an idea of what it is that you do and who you are and get the value in exchange for their email address. That's list building, that's lead generation, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to put call to actions. On that note, there's no rule. There's no rule to how often you should put it, whether you should put it every day or not. Don't do it every day. I mean, don't even show up every day if you don't want to. But do it consistently. If you're going to show up 3 times a week, do it consistently. Stay active. Stay present. Okay? And those are the 3 keys. And on this note, I would like to announce I have been highly inspired this week, and I know that a lot of you, thank you for contributing to the poll in the group, because I have created a masterclass session which is going to happen on the 12th of March. This is called Strategic Alignment. The Strategic Alignment Masterclass, the objective is to identify how you stand out in the market. Okay, so we're going to go dig deeper into your positioning and how you do that. Because let's face it, no matter what industry, profession that you are in, the internet is a noisy space, and you need to stand out. You need to stand out, and you need to show your worth and your value. People need to know you're there to work with you. And I know that we all suffer with doses of imposter syndrome. I know I have. As I said before, why would anyone work with me if there are so many others doing what I do, blah, blah, blah. They're more experienced. They've been online for longer, like yada, yada, yada. But what is the reality? The reality is that actually there are people who are less experienced and less qualified than you, who are in the space, who have claimed their space, who are receiving clients. The difference between them and you, if you're stopping yourself, is that they're taking action and you're not. It's only about that. So please claim your spot. Claim your spot. Show up, show up, show up. So in this masterclass, I'm going to give you some tools on how to position yourself more boldly and confidently in the marketplace, in the online space, through your message. This is going to be held on the 12th of March at 1:30 p.m. Central European Time. That's 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time in the US. And yeah, I just want you to get a little bit of alignment, like when you go to the chiropractor or osteopath, you need to get aligned. You need to get on track. You need to remind yourself why you're doing this, who you are, who you're showing up for. So I want to give you those tools. And as a result, I know that you will have more clarity and more impact in your message, and you will start to attract more like-minded clients who are ready to go on that journey with you. And this is the way we differentiate ourselves in the market. So I haven't prepared any funnels and jazz because you know me, I am actually removing the ones I have. But if you are interested, you just send me a message below, and as soon as I create the PayPal link, I'll drop it in. It's only going to be 33 euros. It's low value, high impact, low value in terms of money, high impact and value. And I want to see you move forward and stand out boldly, and yeah, with your passion and all that you are. So thank you guys for listening. Nidhi, all the way through, thank you. I'm not sure who else is watching. If there are any questions, I can hang out for a sec. Let me know if there are any questions. I'll just take a sip of water. If there are, I know 3 of you are watching. I can see you. It does take a bit of time for Facebook and StreamYard to show me the comments. But if there are none, if there are no questions right now, well, definitely you can post them in and I'll watch them later. So in the meantime and in between time, today is Promo Wednesday in the Aligned Digital Marketing Facebook group. So go ahead, post your offer. If this applies to the group, to the members of my group, please share with us why this is relatable for them. Use what we just learned in today's masterclass. Share that offer. You can create a new post with your text and the image. You can go live. Actually, I'll just change the features on the group just to make sure you can go live. Keep it short, keep it under 2 to 3 minutes. And yeah, or you can just post underneath the Promo Wednesday post. Go for it. And lots of love. I hope to see you all soon on the masterclass. And yeah, for those of you who have realized that I've been missing in action, I am back. And I'm so excited because a lot of things, a lot of creativity is flowing, and excitement, and I missed being in this space. It really lights me up. So you're still gonna have me around. I feel aligned. Thank you, Hannah. You are incredible. Oh, thank you so much. I feel aligned with what you're sharing and will attend your masterclass. Yay! I posted an offer for Saturday 27th, but after this, I have learned so much. You're so welcome. I saw your post. I'm going to go and check it out. That looks really interesting. Thank you for sharing, and I'll see you soon. Guys, if you're just hopping on, I'm going to end this broadcast and go back to watch the replay. Bye-bye.